This is Jaden here, your Wednesday host for Real TFM. This week we're talking about our coming out stories and advice on doing that. I'm sorry about the poor lighting, it's night time and this is the brightest room I have in my flat. So, my story is not exciting, it's not anything sort of special, but it's mine, so I'll sort of tell you. I made a decision when I was 13. I went to the doctors, and after the experience I had there, I decided that I'd never come out and that I would suppress it for the rest of my life and identify as female. Which, if any of you have done that or if you are doing that right now, it's incredibly difficult. So, having said that, I was sitting with some friends one night, wasn't thinking about it. Again, this was years and years down the line when I was 24. And out of nowhere, more of a shock to me than anyone else in the room, I asked if either of the guys knew anyone who was transgender. And the obvious question was for them to ask why, and I blurted out, I'm a boy and I'm transgender. And we sort of just sat there, like, in that awkward silence where no one really knows quite what to say. It was a tad bit more awkward because the guy sitting with us was quite a recent ex of mine. But that was the initial coming out. We sort of discussed it for a little while, but nothing else was really said. So around 3 days later of discussing it with my friend, I decided it was time to tell my parents. And there are many ways to communicate, and I opted for the text message. Yep, I text my dad whilst I was at work, knowing he was at home and I'd have a little while. I just texted him telling him everything. And I asked him to message my mum and tell her so I didn't have to do it. We're never really a family that talk very much about like feelings and things like this, and this just felt too huge to do face to face, and I knew that I would sort of clam up. I mean, their reactions were awkward enough when I identified as female and I took a girl home for the first time, and everyone was a bit like. So yeah, that happened. I then spoke to my mum on the phone, and that was all good. She told pretty much the whole family, like everyone found out about it. No one really said anything. I didn't get any messages or from the family or anyone. So that was that really. And then in the week following that, I had put in a deed poll to change my name. I was already been referred to the London Gender Clinic, and I had an appointment coming up with a private doctor to get on T quickly, and within 2.5 months I was on testosterone. Yeah, see, it's not exciting at all. That's how I chose to do it. It worked for me. I couldn't do it face to face. The only advice I feel like I can sort of give on this is I spent 24 years suppressing it because of being worried about other people. But when I did come out, I've never felt relief quite like it. I mean, it's been a really rocky ride, my transition, but the relief that swept over me from doing it, I'll never really forget that feeling. I mean, if you're not comfortable doing the face-to-face sit-down, you can do what I did. You can send a text message. If you're good with emails or writing your feelings down, which I'm awful, but some people are great at it, you can do that, write it all down in a letter. You can give it to them and sit there with them as they read, or you can sort of go and stay with a friend for a day. When it comes down to it, it's your news and you need to do it how you want to and what makes you most comfortable. I wasn't really that prepared for reaction. To be fair, I didn't get a overly negative reaction from sort of close friends and family at first, but when I opened that gate, I knew that it wasn't something I'd suppress anymore, and that everyone was going to know. I can sort of transition quietly, but I made the conscious decision that to do it regardless of if I'd lose everybody. I could have lost 100% of people. I still had to do this. I mean, sometimes it's not sort of, so in my case, it wasn't straight away that people were funny. It took a while, but even then, you have to be true to you. I'm not really sure what else I can add to this, but if anyone wants to go into sort of more detail of my story, because there's obviously more to it, but I don't have that long. Feel free to give me a message on Instagram, and I can sort of link you to my personal like Facebook, and we can sort of talk on there. As always, I'll link it in the comments below. Well, I'm going to wrap this up now because we're sitting at like nearly 6.5 minutes, and I'd be getting quite bored if I was watching this at this point. But I hope all of you are doing really well. And until we speak again, stay safe, stay happy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.